I really think, especially if Aiden Hutchinson is there at number 2, the chances of the Detroit Lions not taking a star from the University of Michigan are you at the position of need? Kind of feel like that's not going to happen. I think they're going to end up edge rusher right away. But I think the wild card in all of this is, what does Jacksonville do? Is it going to be Ike Ekwonu? Is it going to be Travon Walker? Will Brinson, senior NFL writer, CBSSports.com, Pick Six podcast moderator. Congratulations, sir. Oh, look at you with your Masters hat. That's not
baby.
That's
Scotty Scheffler style.
All right, sir. Is it really going to be Travon Walker, number 1? What? How did the odds dramatically shift so quickly?
Interesting how much they shifted overnight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I have been telling anyone that could listen. I don't know if I told you last week. Did I mention?
I don't know what we talked about last week. You were this handsome last week, though, so that's okay.
Oh yeah, I was not on camera last week. So all right, a couple of things on Travon Walker. One, you can go back to 2014,
right?
Sometime in the offseason, and you can find a blog on the Press Democrat site, right, that covers the 49ers.
Okay.
And it's entitled Trent Baalke, I love long arms. I know, it's ridiculous. But
so do I.
Who doesn't love
long
arms?
Who among us doesn't love long arms?
Who doesn't love long arms? However, do you know who does not have long arms?
Travon Walker.
Aiden Hutchinson does not have the 34-inch arms.
So he's wearing a 32, 33 sleeve.
He's a 32
dress shirt.
man. Exactly. And Trent Baalke requires, based on his thresholds, his athletic thresholds, 34-inch arms for his prospects. Additionally, can you tell you I mean, I wouldn't expect you to know how long.
Well, then Kenny Pickett's out of the question because he has tiny gecko-sized hands. So Trent Baalke would never draft Kenny Pickett.
Absolutely. Additionally, and I think you can answer this one. Can you tell me who Aiden Hutchinson's college football coach was?
It was Jim Harbaugh.
Can you tell me who fired Jim Harbaugh from his NFL job that forced him to go to Michigan?
Oh, Trent Baalke. Okay.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
There you go.
You think Trent Baalke is going to draft some T-Rex armed Jim Harbaugh disciple with the first overall pick? I don't think so.
A T-Rex arm. I'm just going like this for giggles now.
I also have it on, and I don't.
So how is Aiden Hutchinson so dominant in college? I guess you can be a T-Rex and be dominant in college.
You can win with short arms,
sure.
Offensive line or defensive line. There's just a lot of evaluators out there who prefer their prospects to have longer arms.
Right.
Additionally, and I'm not like I'm trying to sort of I'm trying to toe the line on this one because I don't want to get caught up in a report. CBS writer says, right. But I have it on a pretty I have a pretty good source that told me it's gonna. It's
going to be Walker.
It's going to be Walker. Look at the odds too.
The odds certainly tell you that. Your colleague and friend of the program.
One more thing on Walker that I noticed over the weekend. I sat down in my leather chair up here in the office, and I listened to Trent Baalke's 30-minute press conference with the media.
Wow.
Yeah, I know the work I put in, right? And he was asked specifically about Walker versus Hutchinson, and the reporter said, you can talk about traits with Walker and production with Hutchinson. And the way that Baalke answered it specifically was they were both very productive in the roles that they were assigned in that specific defense, which I thought was telling in the sense that he was deflecting from Walker's quote unquote lack of production very quickly off the bat.
Well, my follow-up to that is that production shouldn't necessarily be what drives your decision in the NFL draft anyway, because production in college is based on so many other factors. Like, who was the guy? Was it Dontari Poe who played at Memphis?
Yep.
And like, went an entire year, like didn't have a tackle or didn't have a sack, but was still like a top 8 draft pick because he was quadruple teamed all the time. So it didn't matter that he didn't produce, statistics. He is
or look at Clowney's final year.
Right. Look, so we can get caught up in the production of it. That's why I don't understand when we sometimes, even for quarterbacks, they use completion percentage. Like, who was he throwing to? What kind of offense were they in? Where was he throwing? Right. So all of those things don't matter to me. And you could be mesmerized by gaudy statistics when, I don't know, 70% of college passes are completed behind the line of scrimmage. Right? It just it doesn't. None of that makes any sense.
Where did you play? Did you who were you like? Josh Allen was definitely inaccurate in college, but he was also throwing to like you and me.
It was throwing
like literally, you were doing your grad year at Wyoming. I was wrapping up my 7th senior year. I mean,
all right. So here's my question: is that your colleague, one of the super friends on the Pick Six podcast, and a friend of this program, and somebody I have great respect for, Ryan Wilson. He still thinks it's going to be an offensive lineman. Or actually, I haven't seen his latest mock draft. He might have flipped to Travon.
His final mock will have Travon Walker going.
It will. That's too bad.
No, look, I would take Ike Ekwonu number 1. I mean, if I were the Jaguars, you might not work out a deal with Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson's not that good, and you want to protect Trevor Lawrence. And I will tell you this: I've told anyone who will listen that I still think there is a situation, a possibility where Shad Khan and ownership steps in, and because they're going to have the final say, Like ownership could step in and say, you know what, we want an offensive lineman, and then all this Travon Walker biz is out the window.
Do we know? Does Ike Ekwonu have long arms? Can we get a shirt size for Ike Ekwonu?
Have you ever spent any time on mockdraftable.com?
No.
Oh my God, it's the best site on the world.
Now I'm going to.
Mock Draftable. They do these spiderweb charts based on your percentile for athleticism.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, yes, I will go. I will go check those out.
65th percentile arm length at 34 on the nose, so he would fit
just under the wire.
Another quarter inch back, and he is off the board, baby.
What are Evan Neal's arms? Do we know what Evan?
Looked it up. Evan Neal is also exactly 34, 65th inch or 65th percentile, 34 inches. Just so we know what Travon Walker is.
I hope it starts with a 4. I hope he's got like 42 inch arms.
He has an 84 and a quarter inch wingspan. Adam, he ran, and also like he ran the fastest 40 by someone over 270 pounds since 2000. He has a 35 and a half inch arm length.
Where does he buy dress shirts?
Obviously.
He's got to go to Big and Tall.
Big and Tall.
He has to go to a Big and Tall. Well, he's big and he's tall, and he's got gigantic arms.